having a fabulous day today. And before we get into today's exciting lecture, please hit my subscribe button and hit my notification button. Support and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I just want to let the audience know that next month, June of 2022, my YouTube channel will be hitting its 2-year anniversary. So support my channel, subscribe to my channel. This channel is absolutely nothing without my subscribers and new subscribers. If you are a consistent viewer, I appreciate you watching my videos, but if you have not subscribed to my channel, watching my YouTube videos without subscribing does not fully support this channel. So please hit my subscribe button and hit my notification button. And with that being said, let's get down to today's exciting lecture. This is one of my favorite lectures of all time. The focus of this lecture is going to be the addiction tornado. The addiction tornado. I want to remind the audience that I am a licensed clinical addiction specialist. I've been credentialed as an expert in the field of addiction for over 24 plus years. I hold multiple addiction credentials in the state of North Carolina, in the state of Georgia, and in the state of Virginia. In my role now in the field, I clinically supervise other credential addiction counselors in the field. So with that being said, here we go. Addiction tornado. What exactly is that when I say the addiction tornado? If you have before I actually get into this lecture, please pay attention, because I would be safe to say that in pretty much any family, you're going to have a family member, whether it's a mother, father, sister, brother, or significant other, or in-law, someone in your family who may be suffering from alcoholism or drug addiction. You may have someone listening to this live stream right now who is in active addiction. So please pay attention to this very powerful lecture on the addiction tornado. Alcoholism and drug addiction is similar to a tornado. Alcoholism and drug addiction is similar to a tornado, because it tears through your life and the lives of the people you know. The disease of alcoholism or drug addiction don't just affect the user. It affects the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the niece, the nephew, the co-worker, the neighbor, and I'm here to tell you. So addiction is like a tornado. It would tear through your life and the lives of the people you know. It destroys everything it touches. Think about this. If you saw a tornado coming towards you, what would you do? Because the force and power of a tornado can literally lift the foundation, lift a house off a foundation. So if you saw a tornado coming towards you, what would you do? The trouble with addiction is that you don't see it coming until it's too late. Now you're caught up in the cycle of addiction. You're caught up in that addiction tornado. The user, and when I say the user, that's the person who has the alcoholism or drug addiction. The user life is spinning around and around and around in a cycle of drinking, drug use, in and out of jail, lies, manipulation, irresponsibility, and etc. But you still have a chance to escape, because the alcoholism or drug addiction hasn't killed you yet. When I give this lectures in treatment programs, I say alcoholism or drug addiction hasn't killed you yet, because evidence that you're in this program. I'm looking at you, I see you. So if you were running to get out of a tornado, you will look for a solid building to escape into. And one of the examples I give in terms of a solid building to escape to with clients who are actually in treatment, I say sort of consider this treatment program rather is a long-term program or outpatient program or detox similar to a building to escape, a solid building to escape, similar to this treatment program. Because when people with alcoholism or drug addiction, when they do enter treatment, that treatment program is like a tornado shelter. It allows the user or the bruiser, the drug addict or the alcoholic, it allows them to escape the power of addiction until they can get their life in order again. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen people at the tail end of addiction as an addiction expert. It is not a pretty sight. And for the family and the addict alike, it's similar to alcoholism and drug addiction is similar to very much like a tornado. The debris field of negativity can include verbal and physical abuse, debt, legal issues, creating chaos in the home, the community, the job. At the eye of the tornado is the addiction, bent on destruction, bent on not completing treatment, bent on sucking any and everything into its destructive path. You know, the disease of alcoholism or drug addiction, I'm here to tell you, it is the destroyer of all destroyers. It would tear families apart, communities apart. It would tear the individual apart, spiritually and mentally, and I'm here to tell you. Many times, the family members will find themselves ducking the flying debris while the addict is powerless to stop the tornado. Understand, audience, the alcohol, the user, the alcoholic or the drug addict is the creator of that addiction tornado. They really are. And with that creation of that addiction tornado comes the lies and the manipulation, the lying about their use in financial destruction, and I'm here to tell you. Along with that, in regards to why that user cannot stop the use of alcohol or drugs because of the powerful force of psychological dependency. And the reason what makes psychological dependency so powerful to the point where the user, they may want to stop the use, the alcohol or the drugs, they may want to stop, but because of the psychological addiction, the psychological dependency, they cannot. And that also fuels and feeds that addiction tornado that's created by the user. You know, and what makes that psychological addiction interchangeable with psychological dependency so powerful, because it's made up of 4 parts. The first part of psychological dependency is what we call in the field of addiction state-dependent learning. And what state-dependent learning is when the user becomes so accustomed to performing all tasks, duties, only when they're alcohol or drug impaired. Something as simple as waking up and getting started with their day. When they wake up, instead of reaching for a cup of coffee, they're going to reach for their drug of choice or reach for that alcohol in order to get moving around good, in order to get the day started. You know, if they still got a job by this point, don't think they're working at 8 or 10-hour shift without sneaking in the bathroom on that job to get high or to drink their substance of choice or to drink their alcohol or use the drugs in order to finish out their shift, in order to finish out their tasks and duties. So that's what state-dependent learning is. When the user becomes accustomed to performing certain tasks, duties, skills, housework, finishing the shift, only when they're alcohol or drug impaired. That's all in the mind, people. The second component of psychological dependency is what we call psychological defenses. At this stage of the game, the person, alcohol and drug addiction, has become so severe and their life is out of control. Family members or loved ones will approach the person and say, I'm concerned about your alcohol use, I'm so concerned about your drug you, some concern about your lies and your manipulation of missed family events. Inside, the person know that their use is out of control, so they may respond to that family member or significant other in a defensive way, because psychological defenses are unconscious. They're designed to trick you. Inside of the person, they know what they're doing is wrong, but because that psychological defenses is like a powerful shield to keep the user from hearing the truth, and it's going to drive them deeper and deeper into their addiction. So I introduced the state-dependent learning, the psychological defense, the third component of psychological dependency, which drives that psychological addiction and use, is basically now the preoccupation. The preoccupation with the alcohol or drugs. You know, the person can be at a family event, a family function. They can even be at a funeral or a graduation or a birthday party. Physically, they're there, but mentally, their mind is on worried about making sure they don't run out of their primary drug of choice. They don't run out of that primary substance, rather it's alcohol or drugs. So physically, they're at that family event or function, but they're watching the clock. You know, they're hoping that this event will hurry up so they can go meet with the dope man to feed their addiction, to purchase more of their primary drug in order to prevent withdrawal. So that's the third component of psychological dependency. The fourth component of psychological dependency that makes it so powerful in regards why the user cannot stop, and all this has a direct impact on feeding that addiction tornado. It's the relationship with the alcohol or drugs. At this stage of the game, the user addiction has progressed to the point that they have destroyed all healthy relationships with the mother, father, sister, brother, niece, nephew, significant other, employer, true friends. And now what they're going to do now is formulate a relationship with their primary drug of choice, formulate a relationship with the alcohol or drugs. So now you got the relationship with alcohol or drugs, which is the fourth component of psychological dependency, and that is directly why the user cannot stop. And I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that all of this ties into in terms of that addiction tornado that's created by the user. The only choice at this point is that the person is going to need to, they're going to need to enter some treatment, rather it's long-term treatment, short-term treatment, in order to get the tools to clean up the debris of the addiction tornado that they created and get the skills to sustain their sobriety. And I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all got something out of this lecture in regards to the addiction tornado. And if you know of anyone who is suffering from alcoholism or drug addiction, make sure they get some help, get some treatment. They're gonna need professional treatment in order to clean up the debris from their addiction tornado. And also, I just want to let the audience know that a Marie Holiday book, Awake Financial Freedom, is now available to be purchased by all major bookstores in the world. You can get the hard copy book, $12.95, the ebook version, $9.95. This book can also be purchased from Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Google Play, Apple, iTunes. This is a must-read book in regards to how Marie Holiday dug deep and educate the reader in regards to how I rose from financial destruction to complete financial freedom. I'm getting many reviews on this book, phenomenal reviews on this book. This is a must-read book if you want to gain insight in regards to how Marie Holiday rose from financial destruction to complete financial freedom. This book can also be a blueprint to assist anyone to rise above their financial situation or to enhance their financial situation. And I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have. Simplify, Semper Fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great evening.